You are tuned into the Green Hornet Case Files, a beacon of truth in a world shrouded in mystery. Unveiling the legacy and cultural significance of one of the greatest crime fighters of all time. Now, let the adventure begin. Here are your hosts, Corey and Greg.
That's us, yo.
Welcome back. That is us, yeah. Welcome back, Green Hornet Case Files, Season 2, Episode 19.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it 19 of 2?
19 of 2. Oh,
I don't know why I'm always so baffled by that, but it really doesn't feel like it's been that much.
It doesn't, does. No, not in the least. I want to apologize to everybody for kind of bailing on you last week. A mutual friend of Corey's and mine, much closer to Corey than I, has taken ill. He's been ill for quite a while, but
he took a pretty nasty turn, and he's doing much better right now. So
I said he would
small
bounce.
Miracles. Yeah, he's a resilient mother. Yeah,
he is a trucker, trucker,
mother, father.
That's right. But we do wish the Donald a
Donovan.
Donovan, yes, it is. We do wish the Donovan a speedy recovery and getting himself back in fighting shape, man.
Yeah,
shape. Yeah.
Did the granddaughter tell you she saw me the other day?
No, she did not.
Gave me an awkward introduction to the BF.
Oh, really? The young man.
Yes.
Small worlds.
Indeed, it is.
Yeah. Green Hornet Case Files. We have been throwing things back and forth between Corey and I about what we want to talk about, and we have a little bit of news and a little bit of conversation here, some comments that we want to talk about just a little bit. I did get something in the mail. I don't know if you got one of these or not, but United States Postal Service always sends out their quarterly, is it like spring, summer, fall, winter? I think their U.S. Philatelic magazine.
Philatelic?
Can you say philatelic on the air like that?
No, it's super censored.
Is it? Well, give me a beep on that, okay?
Yeah.
Give me a buzz. Page 8 of the Winter 2026 USA Philatelic catalog features our man, the Brewster.
Yeah,
Mr.
dude.
Lee, yeah.
I'm getting excited for it.
And it says straight up right here, stamps on sale beginning February 18th.
That's not very far away at all.
No, it's not. We were talking, just like one month.
Can you order them and have them sent to you?
You can, but you have to wait until the 18th.
But I don't know. I just like the irony of having a stamp sent to you.
Well, of course.
That's beautiful. I don't know much about that world, like stamp collecting and stuff, but I have a few. I have some full sheets that make me very happy.
I have been a stamp collector since I was a kid, and I have books with stamps in them, and I have just massive amounts of all sorts of stuff. The little tongs, the little tweezer things. I was into it big time for a long time. So
heck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Bruce Lee, you can pick up. U.S. Postal Service celebrates Chinese American martial artist, actor, filmmaker Bruce Lee. And you can pick up and I didn't realize that the price of a forever stamp is now 78 cents. It's like freaking high. Highway robbery is what it is. But
it is kind of ridiculous.
It is. You can pick up a pane of 20. It's just the one design of Bruce doing his flying kick. And
which is the logo now.
It is. I have a keychain that's just the outline of the flying kick. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
And then there's you can pick up a poster of the whole thing, which is pretty rad. I may have to get one of those too. 24 by 12. There is the Bruce Lee stamp pin with cancellation card. That means what's called a first day cancellation is a card that is sent. Only this isn't the actual first day cancellation. This is just a cancellation card. So it's a pin, which is the same design.
Yeah,
and it's like $14.95 or something like that. And then
grab that too.
You can get the. Let me finish here. There's the Bruce Lee Field Notes. And it's just a little pocket-sized notebook that is empty. It's devoid of anything, so you can write in what you want. It just has the, the design on the front of it, and that's like $15. Same. It's a set of 3, I think. These little, if you want to make a note of that. And then the Coupe de Gracie.
I'll never forget the first time I heard that was during a D&D campaign. I was like, what? What just happened?
Do you mean the coup de grace? No, it's the Coupe de Gracie.
Coupe de Gracie.
Coupe de Gracie. The Bruce Lee stamp portfolio. This includes a collectible cancellation card and a mint pane of 20 of the Bruce Lee stamps. And then there's like this fold-out thing that has a whole lot of information, Year of the Dragon information, capturing flight, Bruce Lee, quote here that says, "Success is a journey, not a destination." And it's like $20, $24, $25. So, if you're wanting to get your Bruce Lee on, get a hold of one of these, or just go to the U.S. Postal Service website. You can't order yet, but you will as of the 18th of February. So there you go.
That's going to be fantastic.
It's the latest information I have on Bruce Lee stamps. No Green Hornet stamp, okay?
It's got to happen eventually.
We'll work on it.
90th anniversary.
I know people. Yeah, 90th anniversary. Come on, people. We're going to wait for another 10 years.
And we're right up against it, right?
Yeah.
The date itself?
Yeah. Yeah, we really are. As we're getting ready to drop this show, we're coming right up on that date. So, happy 90th. Happy 90th. So, we had an email. We get a lot of emails, and we had an email a while back from a guy named Scott. Scott likes to write, and that's okay.
We appreciate every word of it.
We absolutely do. And we forgot to talk about it last time, but he dropped us another note. He says, right off the top, "Forgive me if this is a bit long-winded. I'm a big talker."
So are we, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, we really are. He says, "I'd like to thank you guys for this podcast. The Green Hornet means a lot to me, and it's so hard to find people who feel the same way." So he said to find the podcast was life-changing.
Wow.
I'm glad I could help.
Very nice.
Said he started watching the 66 Batman series quite a few years back, which, by the way, just had a 60th anniversary. The TV series, like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yep.
He says Batman has always been and will always be his number one interest, and the show definitely immediately became a favorite. While I was anticipating watching future episodes, I was reviewing the plots of each and discovered that there was a crossover episode with another William Dozier show called
The Green Hornet.
The Green Hornet. He says, if I had never heard of it, but really wanting to watch all of Batman, I had to know who the Green Hornet was before I got anywhere near the crossover. So that's what that was his gateway drug right there. And he says, I was absolutely blown away. And that's great. And it goes on to talk, about, some other things, Toys and Collectibles episode that we did with John Negron and, some other things that it's really nice to hear, from people that they're listening, that they like what we're doing. So,
and very, very thankful. Thank you so much, Scott. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we really do. If you'd like to drop us a line, be sure and do so at podcast. There you
at
go.
greenhornet66.com.
Podcast, greenhornet66.com. And I think that is the last little bit of news I had. I did have an email from Mary Kay as of yesterday, I believe, and it was, let me see if I can find it here real quick before we get into our topic of the day. It said, I'm not seeing it right now. Basically, it's National Hot Sauce Day. Enjoy. That was it.
That's yet another of my interests.
And I'm still, she does that. She sends me funnies all the time, and then she sends me, it's National, Hot Sauce Day.
So are we getting a Salsa Verde Hornet edition?
We're going to have to. We probably will have to. Yeah. Salsa Verde. Yeah.
A green salsa. Call it the Hornet Sting or something.
Yeah. The Hornet Stink.
No, Sting.
Sting. I'm sorry. I'm a little testy today. We're recording this on Monday. Today is Monday, January 19th. It's National Popcorn Day. I work at a movie theater. I've seen so much popcorn today. I don't think I ever want to see popcorn again. Well, at least until tomorrow.
Just dreaming about butter.
Yeah. National Popcorn Day for us is any up to 5 gallon tub. Anything that you bring into the theater, we fill for $5, which is a hell of a deal. But
anybody bring in a pillowcase?
Nobody, but I had trash bags. People would, okay. I forgot it was, and I found this in my car.
Gross.
Yeah. I'm not filling that for you, lady. Okay.
Yeah.
You take the trash out of it first, then we'll talk. The cutest one, before we move on, the cutest one was about a 10-year-old boy that came in with his radio flyer wagon.
Oh, that's adorable.
And I filled that sucker for him, and I've got a picture of him, and it's just darling, absolutely darling. So
do you ever carry the Hornet cards or the Ghostbuster stickers at work?
Oh yeah.
You give them out there,
and when people talk about it, or it comes up in a conversation, I'll pop one out and hand to people, Ghostbusters or Green Hornet, either way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always a good thing to talk about. I just happened to think of one other thing.
Yeah.
I was in the theater the other day. This is about 2 weeks ago. Young couple come in, and I'm not helping them. I'm kind of in the background. I'm probably resetting something or refilling something. It's, we're always busy doing something. And I turn around and they look at me and they go, "Hey, aren't you that guy?" I'm like, probably. I know. No, you're that guy that was in that Green Hornet film. What was it?
What?
Honey, what was it? We just watched that at the film festival. It was that Requiem thing. And they just went on and on and on. And
no way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I got recognized. Haha.
Fantastic, man. That's cool.
So we did, and they both didn't know anything about, the Green Hornet. So we talked about the Hornet a little bit. We talked about the podcast, and they're like, "We're going to listen." So, hey, welcome to the show.
That's awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. So with that, I turn things over to you. Because I know you want to talk about one of your favorite things.
I do, and it's been it's been a topic we have discussed so many times, but in just passing, because it is passing, but it's also heavily related. And that is the Lone Ranger.
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-Yo Silver, the Lone Ranger.
Do you want to talk about Uncle Ben? Is that right?
Yeah. Not even Spider-Man's Uncle Ben, just the rice.
There you go. Uncle Ben's rice.
It's funny because we didn't have a lot of prep. We had a lot of prep time, but because of missing last week's due to the issues we discussed earlier, we didn't really have a chance to talk about that. I was so thankful when we hopped on. I was like, any chance you pulled the radio intro?
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't miss that opportunity to play the Lone Ranger theme. And my wife asked me, she said, why are you guys talking about Lone Ranger? It's not the Green Hornet, but it's family. It leads up to.
Yeah, it literally is. While it's the cousin, it's the grandpappy.
Yeah.
And so with that, the first thing I need to discuss about this is one of the things I mentioned all over and over and over is my love of the Dynamite Lone Ranger comic.
Yeah.
And
Matt Wagner?
Right. But no. I've been saying Matt Wagner for years.
Yeah.
It's not Matt Wagner.
Oh.
Matt Wagner wrote the Zorro Dynamite run.
Oh.
That was running at the same time. It was Brett Matthews that authored the Lone Ranger for Dynamite. And egg all over my face. Because I was like, what? I could have sworn it was Matt Wagner. I've been saying since we were on our first podcast together, I would mention the Matt Wagner Lone Ranger. And I've been saying it wrong all these years. So my apologies to Brett. Yeah.
Could we back up just a second?
Yeah. Because
being a vegan, I wouldn't throw eggs. Can I throw tofu?
You can throw all the tofu.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
So we are coming up on the anniversary of the origin of the Lone Ranger as well.
Yeah. First appeared back in 1933. Is that right?
January 30th, 1933.
Wow.
So created by George and Fran.
Yeah.
And yet another, it was the basis of it. And they truly wanted a hero that had a strict moral code.
Oh, yeah.
And getting that out to the masses was the key. Like it was something to bring everybody together, but also something to give the kids someone to look up to and aspire to. And Fran Stryker specifically wrote a moral code for the Ranger.
Yeah.
And it goes as such. I believe that to have a friend, a man must be one. That all men are created equal, and that everyone has within himself the power to make this a better world. That God put the firewood there, but that every man must gather it and light it himself. In being prepared physically, mentally, and morally to fight when necessary for what is right. That a man should make the most of the equipment that he has. That this government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall live always. That men should live by the rule of what is best for the greatest number. That sooner or later, somewhere, somehow, we must settle with the world and make payment for what we have taken. That all things change but truth, and truth alone lives on forever. This is the code of the Lone Ranger. And now, we're talking about the Ranger, but obviously through the lens of the Green Hornet.
Right. Right.
So all of these things apply with the Hornet, but the Hornet's visage to the world is almost the antithesis of these things.
It is. And that's the thing that so many people say that they love about it is, that duality.
And so that kind of thing, it just got me thinking when I was going through all these things that, they set out all these rules for the Ranger, who they very, very rarely referred to as the Ranger in the series.
Right.
But they set out all these rules. They set out rules that the Ranger was never supposed to be without his mask. That he was never captured or held for any length of time by lawmen. So he never was unmasked. He always used like specific ways of speaking, avoiding like colloquialisms and stuff. All of these things they turned on their head for the Hornet and just came at things from a different angle. And so it's just kind of cool that they set the rules and then they didn't break them, but they bent them.
Bent them pretty good. That's right. Well, and you keep the thought that, there's Kato, there's Tonto,
right?
There's, Silver, there's Black Beauty. Yeah.
Yeah. You couldn't have a horse named Black Beauty. That would have been wrong. That was already done.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. Yeah. And I cried. Okay.
Right. So it's just one of those things where, when Stryker set out and did the bulk of this series as well, plus a ton of books.
Oh, yeah.
And
whole series.
You're right. And I kind of am remiss that I don't have the compendium like we have for the Hornet.
Yeah.
I really need to pick that book up. But it's funny because, we get John Reed is as the Lone Ranger. He's the Lone Ranger because, for those of you who don't know, the Ranger was a member of 6 Texas Rangers,
right,
that were ambushed and killed. One survived, the Lone Ranger. He was rescued from the desert by Tonto after having been out there for several days. And that's one they've kind of toyed back and forth with the origin story a little bit, but just kind of the way like Batman, they would change it a little bit, but leave it pretty much intact.
Yeah, it's one of those things that when you try, it's not apples and apples, but
no.
It's really, really close to apples and apples. And you got to look at it from the perspective. I always look at things in a business manner. Okay, they started off with this show that just captured the kids, and what kid, especially young boys, weren't glued to the radio, bouncing up and down, and I'm riding my horse, let's go, and I did. It was the same way with me, especially like Roy Rogers, the same sort of thing. And I watched the Lone Ranger on, television, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
heck, an animated Lone Ranger series even came out in 1966.
There you go. Yeah. And then to turn around and say, this was so popular that can you do it again? And that's where it blows me away is they did it. Stryker did it again and captured the adult audience with the Hornet.
So the question I wanted to pose to you,
okay,
well, I got lots more stuff, but the question I wanted to pose to you is, why do you think the Ranger has endured a little bit more than the Hornet has in popularity, in the zeitgeist?
That's a hell of a question. And I probably would say the Lone Ranger is not ambiguous. The Lone Ranger is just straight out, he's for good.
Yeah. Okay.
And, you know, the white hat, the silver bullets, the white horse, that whole thing.
Yeah.
And for all those things, you know, that you just read, I believe that to have a friend, a man must be one.
Yeah.
I believe that. I think Green Hornet, while ultimately that's what he stands for, the way that they have portrayed him as this gray area person, the bad guy to the public, I think that's the reason maybe why there's just what you said.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and you remember they always would be like, who was that masked man?
Who was that masked man?
Yeah. It's the Lone Ranger and Tonto. So that's how I would see it. I don't know how you feel about it.
You know, well, it's very much, I think there's a couple of things. I think the Lone Ranger is defined in his time period. The ambiguousness of when the Hornet takes place is you move through, and we've talked about it, like, oh, you could do it here, you could do it there, you could do it in this setting, you could do it in this setting. While that frees him up for storytelling, it doesn't have the iconography to hold its place in time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
We have the 30s version, we have the 40s version, we have the 60s version, we have the 2010s version, you know, the comic versions in between, and it's fluid throughout time and you can move it around. But the Ranger's the Ranger. It's an Old West, and the enduring love of the Wild West is definitive with our culture.
Yeah. Did you ever go through a cowboy phase?
Oh, dude, I'm in one right now.
When I turned 50, my wife gave me horseback riding lessons, and I'd ridden a horse, as a kid a few times. But yeah, when I turned 50, she gave me, horseback riding lessons. And so I had to go out and buy my Stetson. And at one point in time, I was, had my guns, my 6-shooters, and boy, I would, yeah.
I'm right there with all of that.
Ka-ching,
but I grew up in a rural spot. Rodeo was a big thing.
Yeah.
But I was always an enigma. I would wear my Wranglers, my belt buckle, and my boots, and a Nirvana t-shirt.
There you go.
And just those kinds of things. But no, absolutely, yeah, it's part of who I am for sure, and that's something I truly I go through when it's not the focus, but I come back to it. I wasn't playing. I'm deep in it right now, and just channeling my inner Clayton Moore.
Yeah, yeah. And that's a whole nother story, that we could go off on Clayton Moore for just, forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And having lived through that time period when, Clayton Moore had to deal with, when the show was sold, to the Rather Corporation, and they came back and said, Trendle sold it to Rather, and Rather said, you can't wear the mask anymore. And, come on.
Yeah. That was the thing is change. They tried so hard to, it's like anything, anytime new people get involved, they want to put their stamp on something.
Yeah.
But you can't take away what makes it what it is. Otherwise, what's the point? Just do your own thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the fact that Fran Stryker tied them together. There's just something about the idea of taking the character, it's not the Green Hornet is not directly related to the Lone Ranger, other than through blood. I guess that's fairly direct.
It's pretty direct.
Pretty direct, but the brother of and the uncle, and it works for me. It just absolutely works for me.
Well, and like we kind of already mentioned it, and we've mentioned it lots of times, but like the taking of this hit and turning it up, turning it down, changing this, tweaking that, but keeping the same thoroughfare. And he just wanted a modern take, so when it came about, holy mackerel, I'm stumbling over my words.
There's so much,
right? But when you take that time period and bring it to the 1930s, 1940s, you're taking this character and you're trying to do it again, and the little flourishes that they gave it made it so much its own that most people have no idea that there's a connection.
No, they really don't.
And which is what I was trying to get to. I had a horrible time with it.
It's all right. You can back the bus up if you want and run over it again. So.
Yeah. No, we're all right. But, we go from the white hat to the green hat, the black mask to the green mask. We're changing stuff up, but all the time, the particulars of making sure that the bad guy was not killed, he was punished by the law. The times that it was for the Lone Ranger, it was justice, not revenge.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of the anti-Punisher.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so but they carried all that through to the Hornet as well. Is the Hornet always tied the bad guys up and left them for the cops.
Yep. Not about revenge. It's about justice.
Yep. It was always that thing. And it was the same thing. So the silver bullet for the Lone Ranger represented purity and justice and doing things cleanly. And then they took the silver bullet and turned it into the dart.
Yeah.
And the gas gun, and you're still incapacitating so that the system can work. Go ahead.
I love the symbolism. All the symbolism just across the board.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's something like, we come back to it a lot. I think that's something we need to aspire to in entertainment today. Because everything is, higher stakes, and nobody believes in the system, and it's super flawed. I understand it, but it's like holding those ideals is what kept things kind of on the tracks. And
one of the things that bothers me these days is, and you mentioned higher stakes. You have a Marvel universe, you have a DC universe, and everything is universal stakes.
Galactic, cosmic beings.
Yeah.
It's the end of the world, not just a bad guy.
And you look at the Lone Ranger, and it's, they stole from the bank.
Yeah.
Or they kidnapped, little Cindy Lou who was no more than 2. And,
Thanks, Theodore.
Happy to help. I'm helping happily.
So and that's and we brought that back way back at the beginning of the series of the podcast. Is I think people are fatigued by all that and crave a more localized moral story.
Yeah.
Where the stakes are street level.
And I think that means more to something. That means more to people. I don't want to talk politics, but what we're going with in the news these days is street level things that are going on.
Yeah.
And that is what this is about. The Lone Ranger, the Green Hornet, they're about the world around us as it is and the rights and wrongs of what is going on in the world. It's not what's happening on Krypton.
Yeah.
It's not whether you have the glove of, whatever it is. It's real life as much as you can get it.
Yeah, 100%. And that's, I think people as a whole wanted more escapism in their escapism. Okay. And then to outdo it, they just kept ratcheting it up or ratcheting it up or ratcheting it up. And now nobody cares. They're like, we've seen the sky beam. We're over it. Yeah. Bring it back to something that is tangible. And not necessarily doesn't have to be non-fantastical, because you can still have fantastic things on that smaller scale. But, it was for what it was, with the Ranger. Let's take around 2013, we had a film come out that kind of ratcheted the stakes up, and it played with the genre a little bit. It added a little more comedy, a little more darkness, and it went over as good as the Green Hornet film had.
Yeah,
so the bloodline continues. I had to. I've been wanting to make that point the whole time.
I know. I know you. I've known you a long time. I was waiting for that one. And there are bits and pieces, just like with the Hornet film, there are bits and pieces that I thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah.
But as a whole,
not great. You got a guy that got canceled, and then a guy that came pretty close to getting canceled, kind of came back. It's got a taint on it.
It does.
Just like and so my concern is that, much like the Hornet, I might not get any more anytime soon.
Yeah. Question for you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Clayton Moore is definitive Lone Ranger? Or
that is a tough one. So that's the version I grew up with.
Yeah, likewise.
Those reruns were huge for me. And I've brought it up lots of times. Like, the first record I ever bought was Elvira by the Oak Ridge Boys, because it said Hi-Ho Silver Away in it.
Papa, mama.
And so, I think Clayton Moore would be definitive to me.
Okay.
Not that they're, going back, I've loved all the radio versions I've heard. But yeah, I think when I think of it, that's who I think of.
Okay. I agree with you. Clayton Moore was the one that I grew up with. But in having spent time listening to old, going back and actually listening to the old stuff, I think Brace Beamer, as far as my mental visual acuity, he's the one that conjures up the best image in my brain of what the Ranger is, in the same way that Al Hodge does for the Green Hornet. Yeah.
It's funny because we've talked about this before too. To me, the definitive Batman is Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just that the voice actor is what lets the character be fully your imagination.
Yeah.
And so
I think so. I'd love to. We'd love to hear from you guys. We'd love to hear what you guys and gals think of the conversation here with the Lone Ranger. Do you feel like the Green Hornet was a fair offshoot? Do you feel like there's problems with it? Clayton Moore, do you like Clayton Moore? Brace Beamer, or do you have favorite Rangers that way? Just let us hear. Podcast at greenhornet66.com. Let us know what you think of.
I have like 6 more pages of stuff, but I knew I wasn't going to get to any of it.
Talk real fast, okay? Okay. You have 5 minutes. Actually, you have 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Go.
I feel like this is a good leaping off point. I'm saying that we had certain ones I wanted to touch on. The feature film in 1981. That was yet another one that was critically panned. It bombed. But as a kid, I loved it. The Legend of the Lone Ranger movie was huge for me when I was a kid.
I remember when it came out. I have one of the masks. It's not a film mask, but I have one of the masks that they came out with. And here's a weird little throwback. When I was doing cosplay as the Green Hornet, and I had a young lady who was my Kato at the time, the mask that she was wearing was a Lone Ranger mask.
Was it really?
It really was.
I didn't know that.
I thought that was kind of like the ultimate.
That's a delightful. It's a cosplay Easter egg.
Throw that in the Cracker Jack box and let's see what kind of prize you get for that one, huh?
That is phenomenal.
So if you're digging around on the website and you see pictures of myself and Kato, then you'll know that's a Lone Ranger mask right there.
So good. So good. So my question is, as the Ranger predates, he's one of the first masked heroes. Do you think the Ranger's mask influenced Batman's cowl?
Any more than the Scarlet Pimpernel or Zorro?
Yeah.
Or I'd have to say not really, but in keeping with.
Just kind of curious. Podcast, greenhornet66.com.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that one.
And if you want me to say your opinion over my own, Ko-Fi at
yes, please.
Just we hadn't brought it up.
Yeah. ko-fi.com/Green Hornet Case Files if you'd like to buy us a cup of coffee, and we can sit and discuss this over a cup of coffee.
Thank you so much for being indulgent and letting me run down this path a little bit.
No, it's something that we have talked back and forth about, off and on, kind of since we started doing the podcast. Is how we would approach that, and it's not the Green Hornet, but it is the beginnings of the Green Hornet.
It's the seed, 100%.
Hornet wouldn't be the Hornet without the Ranger.
Yep.
And again, I want to hear your comments on what you feel. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite Ranger? Who's your favorite Tonto? Does the music work? I can't figure out a better piece of music that would have worked. I think that when George Trendle was putting this together and he was being cheap, he did it.
Well, he did it. He did it with both.
Yeah,
he took these 2 iconic pieces of music, and
famous in their own rights,
and tied his character so intrinsically to it. You think of William Tell, you immediately think of the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, you do.
You do. Flight of the Bumblebee, you think of the Green Hornet.
That's where it's at.
It's pretty wild.
It really and truly is. All right. Podcast at greenhornet66.com. Again, ko-fi, ko-fi.com, Green Hornet Case Files, if you'd like to drop us a few shekels, and we can go from there. And we do wish Donovan the absolute best in getting him back and upright. And he's kind of hard to see. He's a little short anyway, so I'm never quite sure if he's upright or.
It is. It can be. He's sneaky anyway, so it works.
He is. He is on the schnickel side. So, love to have your comments, and in fact, I'd love to hear from you guys what you think we should talk about next time.
Yeah.
I'm
a mailbag episode might not be a bad plan.
I like the idea. You guys and gals fill up our email, and we'll talk about it.
Excellent.
All right. You want to do that?
As the night envelops the city once more, our journey through the hidden alleys of history and valor comes to a close. You've been riding shotgun with the Green Hornet Case Files, where the echoes of the past meet the voices of the present. Tune in again for the next thrilling adventure where shadows speak, secrets unfold, and the legacy of the Green Hornet continues to inspire. The Green Hornet Case Files is a Grail Productions podcast. The Green Hornet is owned exclusively by Green Hornet, Inc. Until next time, vigilant listeners, keep your wits sharp and your spirit unbreakable.